How's your coffee? Okay, my coffee is very delicious. Extreme. And everyone is a thoughts, and the actions are easy to influence. And that is the truth. We say things, someone is a lot of showing the propagandas and saying like I have clairvoyance, I am good, I make you a great, and so on, like this. And then it's like through the this kind of the post or this sort of information, this kind of the show-offs, then is everybody's thoughts, actions easily to change, easily to influence. Therefore, we need to analyze. For example, of course, we can to study later, but when we follow the spiritual friend, teachers, it's very important to analyze. And it's in the Dharma perspectives, they say it's like student need to analyze teacher more than the 3 years. Teachers need to analyze student 3 years, how you can to accept. And like this, it's both, it's when we follow, to have relation with the teacher and student, they need to know each other very well. But just like kind of randomly, and someone says something, and to follow up the propaganda, some informations, and it's quite very dangerous. Therefore, some funny liars telling to us it's very dangerous. This maybe ourselves here is most important. Sometimes we want to, to be successful. We want to become teacher, we want to become Buddha, we want to become rich, we want to become the very much powerful person. Then we couldn't, then we act in very many different to liar. And like this kind of, if we do, very negative. And so some people declare themselves master or the siddha in an effort to deceive others. And therefore, sometimes it's like a little bit kind of the business way. And says like, I have this and that kind of diverse educations. And also it's like, maybe it's like I am siddha, a kind of the already enlightened. Siddha means it's like kind of the mahasiddha. And this sort of, sometimes we want to act. The feeling is coming. I think it's very important to control ourselves. We don't need to show off the Buddha Shachamana. There is a master in the great perfections tradition. The Garab Dorjit, the master, is a Vajrasava's reincarnation. But he has only single student, very much hiding. Shura Singha, Machu Shura, so on. There's one or two single student, not many, very much hidden. And this, they never kind of the show of something. then it's like sometimes it's decadent, Our mind is become very much business. And in order to get something, we make a really different kind of the manipulationly to do something, acting, to go to the very great cosmetic, to buy there's a different vehicles of the cream, and to put on our face, artificial face, to be very much charming, and then to attack to the others. And in order to, how do you say, it's like to receive some, we become the like kind of spatial persons. Maybe we're never sure that our own face, our own realities. And because if we show our own realities, maybe others is fed up, run away. We can't to get what we want. And in this perspective, sometimes we have like this kind of our own idea. We don't need to thinking about the others, maybe our own self. If I want to to do like this, not very good. I want to be serious Dharma practitioner, humble, hidden, truly practice the truth of the Dharma. And that sometimes is like a idea, want to liar things is not very good. Therefore, it is. Then it's like they have had a vision or the certain deity and made thanksgiving offerings to himself. And sometimes it says like last time is during the meditations, I like kind of the vision, some deities. And this deity really I can to talk, And also I offered like a torma, something is really this deity said is a pleasant. Really like this. This is completely liars, imaginations. They also to claim, maybe it's also we have this kind of ideas. Sometimes I want to say like this. If someone is asked, do you practice quite well? Then maybe secretly not true. But to say, yes, every day I'm something practice. You have a little knowledge, you lot to know about Dharma. Say, I studied this. You know the this and that. Yeah. You never says, even you don't know, never says, I don't know. I know. I know, but you don't know nothing. And this kind of like, how to say, it's like modern, I have like this, and like a kind of the putting in the biographies and your CVs, and like business ways, like, oh yes, and my CVs, can you put, that time I did some magical things. That time it's like, surely it's something, is my power, my realizations. And then it's like, says, unimaginable to put there. And then it's someone says, you are so great. I don't know, really, maybe yes. Yeah. And in this perspective, maybe better to be truth. And inside, to checking inside, how it's like kind of the inside. We say is when you study Dharma, external science become more relaxed, more like, and also it's like if you really to study Dharma way, inner peace, inner calm, inner like kind of diminish of the disturbed emotions, inner development of compassion, kindness, simple. And then it's naturally occur, you can to see, you don't need to talk. Even someone says, good, you so good. If you are not good, what is the someone says good? Nothing to help to us. If really too serious ourselves to be, if sometimes it's like kind of, one suffering sentient being to see, and such a compassion has, we become proud. Good, I have really compassion. And maybe someone's provoked to ours, very much kind of, and anger is coming. And that moment is like, now my anger is, I need to control. If you manage the anger, maybe you can, it's like this. Sometimes when we see something, that is my enemy, that is my delta. Everything's a reality is hallucination. Absolutely hallucinations. We need to like kind of how we can to treat them. And very important, we need to treat them through the compassion, patience, and realizations. How is like a treat compassions? There is something, is a suffering, something problems, and we need to, that is, I understood. Maybe if there is one existence, sentient beings, maybe not. Maybe if existence is like send me, I need sending compassion, kindness. And also it's like there is some enemy. This is also illusion. It is like we also take example. And we sometimes become the cat. Cat is become the front of the mirror. And look at itself. Maybe the cat never see itself. Certainly see that in the mirror reflection cat, very ugly, angry, planting, but it's useless. And like this also is like, now someone provoked me, someone's like this, but maybe this is my own individual, the kind of hallucination. Maybe it's this times I need to practice patience, maybe much, but this sort of to controlling, then we are happy, very much happy, proud, self. Now I'm approach something. And you don't need to proclaim, you don't need to, it's like kind of the post, you don't need to advertise automatically. And because the truth is like, finally, truth is shine out like sunlight. And cheating is like kind of the, how do you say it, morning foggy, looks like certainly disappeared. Like this, and also sometimes our own self, it is like some is like a strange ideas coming, want to lie to others. It's like kind of the same in this context. And also sometimes they claim or they have seen a spirit and chastity. Chastised it. I had to follow up, catch him, and beat them. So it's like this. For the most part, these are the just funny lamas, liars. And like this, no, don't worry, I can't destroy the demons and the cannibals. Don't worry, I will to make the thanks, forget your thanks? Thanksgiving offerings and deities police protect to use it in the and sometimes is how do you say is I don't want to talk, and we is like some funny tricky cheaters to say you do like this, then is you will receive like this. You can do like this kind of do like this. I mean, it's like a modern our like a business advertise. It is like some in the hospitals, or sometimes like travel organizations. You can come to here, we can to organize for you. You go to in this area, you go there, then after you become complete enlightenment, usually you enjoy. Maybe you are blah, 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 blah. We pay a lot of, and finally maybe it's like a experience, horrible thing, something happened. Maybe like this. And therefore it's like the funny lamas or funny our own self. This is very important. Here is like kind of more focused lama, the reality telling to us. And like this lie. So be careful not to be not to believe such chest and charlatans, charlatan. Charlatan is a fake, artificial. Bluntly follow the artificial, bluntly kind of the follow the, it's like kind of the chomis. It's a very much dangerous. This kind of is possible to also ourselves to make like this when we need to get something benefit and like this. Therefore, also ourselves is very important to taking care. And the affecting as it does both this life and the next life. And if you want to really to follow, to really to take refuge in order to get some benefit in this life and the next life, it is a very important to place your trust in the Dharma practitioner. And like a kind of the Dharma practitioner, really serious Dharma practitioners, not aggressive person, not desire person, not kind of cheater person, not kind of like kind of deceptive manipulators. Never like this. Practitioners who you know very well, maybe you know very well, and we say it's like you want to connect. Maybe it's like a old your friend of the ghost rather than the new deity. And like someone you know very well, maybe you be many long times together. And like a very much truthful Dharma practitioners, maybe better to rely on that kind of self, who is humble, taking all the times like a low profile, and it's like someone is like become the ghost, the animals, like a and the ghost, wherever heights they want to go, like there. This sort of person, this kind of, sometimes like this. Someone is very humble to take in the low position, and very this kind of Dharma practitioners to put the hope, taking refuge, rely on, and this is best. And also it's like ourselves, we need to become like this, truthful Dharma practitioners. And also it's like we need to know very well ourselves, which kind of person myself, Here is said that you know very well, is it? What you need to know. You need to know yourself. It's really very important. For me, it's like sometimes that is a very much a truth. I need to know myself very well. But still, I don't know myself. I am thinking I'm a very good person. I'm not too sure that is. I need to check more my characteristics. I need to more check my behaviors. I need to more to check inner, how it is. I'm a deceptive person. I'm cheating to others. I'm lying to others. I'm like kind of all the time involved in disturbing emotions. And how I can control my anger, how I can control my disattachment, how I can control. If I don't check myself all the times to looking at this person, that person, it's not correct. Therefore, need to tell our own myself to, to say, truthful Dharma practitioner. I want to become the truthful Dharma practitioner. And also it's like a kind of pattern which can say it's like in a seat higher rather than the low seat. Low seat is the seat of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. And someone's to prayers and rather than someone's criticizes. If someone's criticizes, good, because someone's really dig out our own faults, defects. and to recognize that we can to change. And this criticism we make authentic ourselves. Ourselves is we never to recognize like kind of our own secret defect. That is is very important. Therefore, I say, I want to become the truthful Dharma practitioners. I want to know about myself very well. Of course, if you know very well, if you recognize as yourself, as who you are, and that is enlightenment. Who is like a humble and who is the inner nature and outer behaviors corresponding. That is really fantastic, wonderful this. Who is the inner nature, whatever you have inside. But someone has a very much inside way of the thinking, outside the behaviors doesn't corresponding. And this, for example, like me, inside is my nature and externally my acting doesn't corresponding. Then there's self-shame, self-embarrassed, that kind of coming. And if we correct it, then we don't need to shame, don't need to, good. I say, we can to say, I'm good boy, I'm good girl. I changing myself. How much am I proof? And to like a kind of to look at the atmospheres. And when I be the someone's, are this person's happy or not? And if this person's not very happy, maybe my behaviors, maybe it's like sometimes it's possible to kind of to treat both sides nicely and to make a very nice happy life. If not, maybe slowly, no criticize, no kind of harming, no kind of the hurting. Maybe go to like a little to make the distance. Why not? And other ones criticize to you, other ones doing it maybe just a few minutes, a few days, a few weeks, few months, maybe 1 year, 2 years to practice patience. Afterwards, bye-bye, you sit there in the corner. I will go to in the corner. I will send you compassion. I will send you love. That's all. Cannot cooperating together. Because it's like maybe you're the inner and the outer not correspond. Maybe my inner and the outer is like it doesn't correspond. In this case, it doesn't work. But if I'm a truly Dharma practitioners and listen to the teachings, I don't want to hurting, practice patience, then slowly a little avoid. This is even the Shantadevas, he give advice. If you can to deal someone's every day like kind of cheating you and like kind of the tricking you, knocking you and mocking you, and also it's like insult to you and like kind of this kind of provoking to you, and then it's what you do. Maybe this someone is like kind of completely inner and outerly is not corresponding. But you see like this, we don't need to criticize, more to be compassionate. Then says reality, I don't want to become like this. I don't want to become. Really to say is like, I don't want to become like this. I want to become like kind of to be really is a corresponding or wanted to making like inner and outer behaviors, making the corresponding. Why not be the kind of the truthful like this? This is a very important for ourselves. So sometimes this kind of teachings, there's holding the name of the lamas. Maybe we think, lamas like this. We are not thinking ourselves. Or there's Dharma practitioners like this, not me. Here is the really to need to turn inward ourselves. This teaching is telling to us, our own body, our own verb, our own mind. This teaching is needed to reply to our own selves. Sometimes to like here is of course Patrul a little bit kind of criticized, but it's like generally there is some such kind of they liar like this. But here it's like we cannot to lie like this. We cannot to become like this. Therefore, it is like very important to check to again and again our own self. Generally speaking, there are ordinary people who have some degree of the concept-bound clairvoyance, like a kind of the contaminated, in the like kind of the very bizarre things. You know, it's like sometimes naturally you have like a concept beyond clairvoyance, concept beyond like a bound clairvoyance. You have natural divine eyes. You can to see many different things, and it's not kind of comes from your like practitioner, but some in the code in your eyes. You can hear. You have hear, and this kind of sometimes clairvoyance. It is not really, it's the superiority, superior. It is like kind of the ordinary ways. For example, it's like clairvoyance. Many is no Buddhists. If you go to some in Asia, like particularly in India, Nepal, sometimes someone is like, in the Dzogchen there is one guy. He's like a kind of the connect to there's one tree. This tree still there is. Nobody's cut it. But this tree, he all the time is his thing, is his deity. And he go to offering to there and to pray to something like this. And then suddenly this tree, there is some spirit talking to him. And then it's like, he's received something very bizarre, but very ugly, this kind of. And then finally when he died, and someone says like he's reborn there, and he's taking care of this tree, and I take him. But sometimes it's like spiritual. Spiritual means it's like someone's created, or you do like this, though you will achieve like this. If you do like this, then you receive some siddhis, blah, 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 like this kind. And then it's like someone's, meaning it's like there is this sort of someone's created, and then it's people follow. And like this, for example, is in India, there are many, they take refuge tree, they take refuge in water, they take refuge in rock, and they take refuge in cows, they take refuge in any kind of, they think they are like kind of, how do you say, it's like dead. And then everybody pray and meditate in long time. It's like, for example, this in the Varanasi, there's one lady, she thinks her deity is the tiger. And then she every day meditate tiger, and then her slowly nose and fang is coming, and she become the tiger. And like this, sometimes it's like mind is to exercise. There's possible to some the clairvoyance, I can cut, but this is like a concept-bound clairvoyance. It's possible. This is, in the Buddhist perspective, nothing important. It's nothing important. Even someone's fly, even someone's enter into, even someone's like kind of to many things to make a single things to many things. It don't care like this. Really, if you are like kind of the Mahasiddhi, or you are Bodhisattva or the Buddha, we look, checking, measure your disturbing emotions. Your disturbing emotions, something you control, and you become the kind, your atmosphere is changing, then they automatically can feel. And then it's a follow-up like this. Therefore, our own self sometimes when you practice, when you're doing something, and sometimes it's like inconceivable something. Maybe that my like kind of realization. Sometimes it's like I have something, science signal is like this. It's in the really Dharma practitioner, they don't care much. And you realize that the nature of realities, and more approach the nature of reality, you more don't care. Because it's like if you really to meditate on the non-duality of the nature of the realities, what you need to care? You don't need to care the positive, you don't need to care the negatives, you don't need to be in the samsara, you don't need to be in the nirvanas. You are the base in the universal of the source of the everythings. And what you need to more concerning, if you not approach to the nature of the reality, you are not understanding of the nature of the realities, then there are the dualistic minds, hope, fear, and a lot of kind of the strugglings in your minds. Like then it's like expecting to have clairvoyance, signs, signals, and like this. It's amazing things. But it is the intermittent, just temporary. There's nothing kind of like a permanent things. Sometimes maybe you can have like something, but this is intermittent. It's just like very much change, very much disappeared. And only it's like the valid some of the times. Sometimes this kind of, maybe in the French you can say déjà vu. You can say déjà vu means it's like sometimes you sit, you never ever to be there, but you drink tea or something. Put this, certainly I'm be here is a long time ago. It looks like you are familiar to these areas. And why? So something is like, that means maybe you to be in the past life some days. And sometimes like you, if you are really to think difficult, but certainly something you remember how it is. Sometimes like certainly is you change the money first where you are. Something you see in Tibet, sometimes in the Noma, this kind of many happen. During the night, you half is sleepy, half is not sleepy. If your eyes are open, but you cannot move, you can see so funny. You are not your home. And you cannot move, you cannot talk. But you see, it's like, maybe you want to shouting or you want to laugh, you want to do something, you can't do nothing. See? And this kind of sometimes happen. Maybe it's like some suddenly disappeared, you come in, maybe I have something happened, maybe taking care. This is like a kind of, we have, 4 demons. Tangible demon, intangible demon, and then another, there is like a kind of making the happiness. This is the demon of the son of the God. It is like when you practice something like kind of happiness. During the meditations, and like kind of you meditate, certainly bliss is arrive. You can hours, day, like 24 hours you sit, and your body mentally is no pain, very much calm. Then it's certainly a rise, like kind of the attachment, like kind of the desire. And then it's maybe also you have like, this is mine now, I think going well. That is this idea of the happiness is the demon cheating to you. And sometimes during the meditations, you can curve the clairvoyance. You see through the wall, you can to see behind the mountains, and something is very much lucidity is occurring. Maybe you think, now I'm going to enlightened. I'm more enlightened. Something is happening. Maybe it's a demon. This is attachment. And also sometimes it's like a very much clarity, or sometimes like kind of no thoughts, absence of the thoughts. Absence of the like nature of the realities is not, but absence of the thoughts. Even you searching the disturbing emotions, it's difficult. You can just say, where is my anger? Where is my disattachment? Where is my version? Where is my all the when you are sitting, times everything you can to close. And there's nothing. This kind of absence of the thoughts is going, now I might meditate. Maybe you meditate on that days, weeks, months, years, maybe they said. But then it's like you are darkness. Maybe it's like the blankness. And like kind of absorption meditations, big obscuration is. But it's then it's like, now I'm surely, and you each moment meditation, you love meditation. Because to be there, nothing kind of like distracted your mind. Maybe this is also demons. And your mind is like inside, like we sense that your mind is very calm, very much, and to abide in this state. But there is a kind of the, spatial vision. You can to say the vipassanam state. And when you enter inside in the temples, everything's clearly, never mixed. Everything's you. And your 5 faculties is working, and the 5 object of the desire, but they correspond, they're working very well. But your mind is a very much calm seat. And like this, then there is no desire attachment, no aversion, no stupidity, not kind of clinging, dualistic mind is there's no, and object and subject is absolutely emerge, single pointedness. And at that time it's like you are nothing kind of expecting some contaminate happiness. You are not afraid any kind of contaminate sufferings and any kind of sufferings. And this kind of then is a wonder for them. That is not kind of intermittent. Really is a permanent scarring. Then it's good. And otherwise it's like some is like a experience occurring. Then you liar. Oh yeah, I see this. I have realizations that maybe it is not very good. There's like not valuable. It's like a very like kind of temporary valuable. It's like this kind of occurring. And pure clairvoyance comes only to those who have reached the sublime level. Really, they're like kind of pure clairvoyances. Pure clairvoyance is occurring that you really to Buddha service level. Maybe it's like your first bhumis you reached, you already coming across the first path, second path, third path. Path of the seeing. Path of the seeing is the first bhumi. And first bhumi is you see what you see. You see the unification of the true truth. You see the like kind of the non-separation of the samsara nirvanas. You see the like the universal ground of the samsara and nirvanas. You see that there is no existence of the dualistic things of the good and bad. And you see like this, it's a very spacious, you don't need to abandon like this general activity of the causalities. But you have inner such a kind of the spatial seeing is realized. That is like kind of that moment, maybe you can to go to the 100 Pure Lands and you can to receive the teachings from the 100 Buddhas. You can kind of your own realizations radiant to the any kind of hundreds like beings you can to make the maturations. Therefore, sometimes you say 1200 qualities is reaching. You first bhumi arrive at the sublime levels. And then it's like this, the clairvoyance, inconceivable, pure, not artificial. And it's not sometimes of like this. It's forever maybe. Because it's when we reach in this path of the seeing, the level of the first. Then it's like almost we are never ever become the ordinary sentient beings. Then all the times going up. And after, of course, maybe this path is quickly finished, we enter into the path of the development and like cultivation path. And then it's like start the like second bhumi. And second bhumi, it is like a kind of the maybe it's like one moment you can to visit the 1000 fields of the Buddhas. 1000 the Buddhas received teachings. 1000 like sentient beings you can to maturate. Like this sort of 12,000 you can to different qualities. Then more and more until the 7 bhumis. And after the 7 cross the 7 bhumis, and then it's like almost reaching to the Buddhahood. And the wonderful things, that moment is like inconceivable person inner your development. Maybe outside which kind of you have ideas or the shape. Headache. When you're reaching this kind of bhumis, you don't need to expect it changing externally, okay? Maybe externally your body verb is normal, say what you got, but inner, like kind of development, inconceivable, this kind of occurring. And then it's like that, therefore, extremely hard to attain it, pure, to have pure clairvoyance. And very, very rare like this kind of. If really someone has the pure clairvoyance, achieved some certain levels of the bodhisattva, sublime like levels, and then it's like you are protector of the sentient beings, you are really is the bodhisattvas. And do you have some questions? Today is the really summer.
Thank you. Kali has one question. Rinpoche, you said that the 10 negative actions are the actions that hurt others, but wrong view doesn't hurt others, or does it?
Yes, wrong views also hurting others. When you have wrong view, then you automatically your body verbs acting. And also wrong views is a wrong wish. Yes, hurting others. Absolutely. Other?
Yes, thank you. Dechen Sokomo asks, Dear Rinpoche, if one man in a group of practitioners is cheating on his wife and other people in that group know about it but do not reprimand him, correct him, is this complicity in unseemly behavior?
Yes. Yeah, cheatings all the times. What?
Thank you.
Do you mean he should lecture his friend?
Huh?
Do you mean he should lecture his participant who is doing this?
Lecture?
No, maybe I misunderstood the question. He was looking for a friend doing some misdeed, no?
If one man in a group of practitioners is cheating on his wife,
Yes.
and the other people in this group, they know about it, but they don't correct him, are they part of his action, of negative action?
Yes. But also it's like maybe there's a group of people, maybe it's some in the individual privately, you can tell to this person is a good, not necessarily grouply to correct to this person. Individual, if you are really want to correct, maybe each individually secretly to tell, don't do that. That's good. Then in the middle of this, if you coming together to talk, also negative, then why you need to correct? Because this person is like maybe gossip going to around. And In this case, if someone's really too close, then it's direct to face in the security correct. It's much better than sometimes in our Westerns. Things is like we can come in together, everybody in the middle of the talk. And then you help one other one, but you are destroying to the other ones. Then it's which one is like negative. We don't know. And if you direct to maybe it's one person to one person, then who can to hear? If you really practitioners to say it's like you cannot do like this. If you do like this, then it's dangerous. And then other ones angry. Okay, I don't want to tell to the other, but you shouldn't do like this. This we need to say them sometimes here. Okay, today I heard something I want to put in the internet. I wanted to put in the middle of the paper. And then you say want, but you destroy into others. It's therefore I think it's commonly not correct, but individual maybe to say direct. Why not? That you mean, yes?
Thank you. Irina Timoshenko asks, Rinpoche, why do situations of major lie called lie looks like people really believe in what they say, so these are wrong views, but not the intentional cheating? She asks, why do situations of major lie, why are they called lie?
Major lie, for example, which kind of lie? Quoting this text, this like they lying to say, they say, I saw the deities, I saw the... Okay.
That this is more connected to wrong views.
Okay. And this is what then is her question?
Why is it called lies? Because it's just the wrong view.
It's a lie because it's the wrong view. They are lying. No cause, no causality. No, it's lying.
If they really believe these wrong views, they're just ignorant, they don't know, they don't understand, and then they just claim this, is also considered lying.
But when you also you have this wrong view, you also lying to yourself. And you have wrong views and you are against the causalities. You are cheating yourself. You cheating yourself or you cheating to others. What is the difference? You acting is like the opposite the causalities. And then maybe someone's asked to you, I don't know, I don't believe. One word maybe destroyed one person's mind. Then it's cheating. It's negative.
Thank you. Nadezhka Skvortskova says, Precious teachers, when I heard your teachings, I had no doubt that you are real, and I want to consider you my teacher. And if there is such a feeling, then can we say so without verification?
Verification.
She has this feeling. Can we say that it is so without verification?
Verification?
Without checking.
I don't know. We maybe check.
She continues to ask, Rinpoche, please explain why the physical body falls ill with holy teachers. You said that it all depends on the causes, that is, on the saints and the enlightened ones. It turns out karma also affects.
Oh yes, it's true. Buddha, he received this piece of the wood on the feet. And he said, pains. asked some his students, why Buddha, you are enlightened, why you are pained? He said, oh, I forgot that one purification. This also lamas, they forgot the purification, surely. Oh yes. For example, myself, I didn't purify nothing. Like if there's someone has name of the Lama Semi, they need to the purification more than you. And then of course they seek. And
She also asks Rinpoche, how is the current situation for Uli in the Bardo, who recently died? Has she found the right path there?
this is not your business, Uri and my business. If I'm tell to you, you believe or not believe. Maybe I am a liar, maybe not. Why I need to tell you? She's okay. And other questions? No? Okay. I want to drink coffee. Sorry. We have, how do you say, 11:30 to start. I want to stop. 11:30.